Can I kiss you? The billionaire asked, not knowing one kiss would change everything. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's dive into today's captivating story. A billionaire makes an unusual request. Can I kiss you? What happens next is nothing like anyone could imagine. Stay tuned to see how one kiss changes everything. As the soft hum of chatter fills the air, Emma Brooks stares out the large glass window of the elegant New York City restaurant, the dim light casting a warm glow over the polished surfaces of the tables. Every plate in front of the guests looks like a work of art, and yet, Emma feels completely out of place here. Her second-hand dress, worn shoes, and trembling hands remind her of the life she's always had, far from this world of luxury and polished sophistication. She'd promised Jenny, her best friend, that she would follow through with this blind date. But now that she's here, her nerves are overwhelming. She whispers to herself as she scans the room, looking for her date. Table 7, she murmurs. Her heart pounds in her chest, and she spots him, a well-dressed man sitting alone at a corner table, absorbed in his phone. She takes a deep breath, steadies herself, and makes her way over. "Hi, you must be Kevin," she says, forcing a bright smile, though her voice shakes. The man, Liam Parker, looks up at her in confusion, blinking for a moment, clearly caught off guard. Hi Emma." He sounds uncertain, a slight frown forming on his face. Emma, misreading his hesitation as shyness, sits down across from him, trying to keep the conversation going. "I know this is awkward," she says, the words tumbling out in a rush. "Blind dates are weird, right? Jenny told me you might be a little shy, so don't worry, I'll do all the talking." Liam opens his mouth to correct her, but hesitates, glancing at his phone. His business associate had just texted to cancel their meeting. And there's something about Emma's earnest smile that makes him pause. She's nothing like the polished women he usually deals with, the ones who measure their words and their actions. No, Emma seems real, vulnerable, even, and that's something he's not used to. "Right, blind dates are something else," he says, managing a faint smile. Emma laughs nervously, taking a sip of her water. "Tell me about it. Jenny's been trying to set me up for months, but I've been too busy with work." "What do you do?" Liam asks, his curiosity piqued despite himself. "I'm a waitress," Emma admits, fiddling with her napkin. "Not exactly glamorous, but it pays the bills. Well, most of them anyway." She laughs again, but this time it's more natural. Liam's gaze lingers on her as she talks, his smile widening. He leans back in his chair, his eyes softening as she continues. "And you?" she asks, tilting her head, her curiosity sparking. "I work in tech," Liam replies, keeping his answer deliberately vague. "Coding, apps, that sort of thing." Emma brightens. "Oh, that's cool. I'm terrible with computers. But hey, I'm great with people." "Wait, you're not here on a business trip, are you?" she jokes. Liam chuckles. "Something like that." The conversation flows naturally after that, with Emma sharing funny stories about her shifts at the diner, her struggles with paying rent, and her dream of someday opening her own art studio. As she talks, Liam feels something stir inside him. He hasn't laughed this much in a while, and there's something refreshingly real about her. She doesn't care who he is, what he does, or how much money he has. She's just Emma, a woman with dreams and a kind heart. Just as Emma finishes telling a funny story about a mishap at work, her phone buzzes. She glances at it, and her heart sinks. "Hey, Emma, where are you?" "I'm at table 7, the text reads. "Looking forward to meeting you." She stares at it for a moment, feeling the heat rise in her cheeks. She looks up at Liam, suddenly mortified. "Oh my God," she whispers, standing up quickly. "I'm so sorry. You're not Kevin, are you?" Liam's smile falters, a hint of guilt in his eyes. "No, I'm not," he admits, standing as well. Emma's face flushes even more as she grabs her coat. "I'm so embarrassed," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "I thought you were someone else." She turns to leave, but Liam reaches out a hand, stopping her. "Hey, it's okay," he says softly, his voice sincere. "It's just a mix-up." But Emma is already heading for the door, her heart pounding in her chest. She needs to get out of here before she makes it worse. Liam watches her go, a strange mix of regret and curiosity swirling in his chest. He had intended to correct her from the start, but now he finds himself wondering if he'll ever see her again, and why the thought of never seeing her again bothers him so much. As Emma walks back to her small apartment later that night, she feels like a complete fool. What was I thinking? She thinks to herself, her heart sinking. She had an entire conversation with a stranger, not knowing who he really was, and now she's just embarrassed herself. She groans, throwing herself onto the couch. I'll never see him again, she mutters to herself. Thank God. But despite the humiliation, there's a small part of her that's secretly wishing she could see him again. Would it be so bad if I did? She wonders, closing her eyes. Meanwhile, across town, Liam sits in his penthouse, staring out at the New York City skyline. The view is stunning, but he's not really seeing it. Instead, his thoughts are filled with the woman he met at the restaurant. Emma. There was something about her. Something that felt real in a world that had become increasingly fake. He can't stop thinking about her. The next morning, Emma sits in her small apartment, staring at the phone in her hands. She can't stop replaying the events of last night in her mind. She had thought it would be another blind date, awkward and forgettable, just like all the others. But then there was Liam, someone different. Someone who wasn't like the usual polished men she met in her world of waitressing and second-hand clothes. She had made a fool of herself, but something about him kept tugging at her thoughts. She sighs and rubs her forehead, trying to shake off the embarrassment. I'll never see him again, she mutters to herself. But even as the words leave her mouth, there's a small voice in the back of her mind, wondering what it would be. Like if she did. She stands up, walks to the window, and looks out at the busy streets below. Her thoughts are interrupted by a ping from her phone. It's a text from Jenny. Hey, did you meet Kevin last night? How did it go? Emma stares at the message for a moment before typing back. I sat at the wrong table, she writes, her fingers moving quickly. She presses send and tosses the phone aside. She doesn't want to dwell on it anymore. But as she tries to focus on getting ready for the day, her mind keeps drifting back to the man she met last night. She wonders if he's thinking about her too, or if it's all just a big mistake on her part. Meanwhile, Liam is sitting at his desk in his sleek office, the early morning light filtering through the tall windows. He's distracted, the soft hum of his office almost drowned out by his thoughts. His assistant walks in, breaking the silence. You've got a meeting in an hour, Liam, she says, handing him a stack of papers. But you seem off. Everything okay? Liam rubs his temples, trying to push away the thoughts of Emma. Yeah, everything's fine, he says, but his voice doesn't carry the usual confidence. He hadn't been able to stop thinking about her since last night, and it was frustrating. He should be focused on work, but something about Emma, her laugh, her honesty, the way she didn't care about his wealth or status, keeps replaying in his mind. He thinks back to when they were talking, how she told him about her dreams of opening an art studio. She seemed so real, so grounded. He wonders if she feels the same way. Do you want to go over the meeting agenda, Liam? His assistant asks. He nods, but his mind is miles away. He can't concentrate. After a long day of meetings and endless phone calls, Liam finds himself sitting alone at his desk once again, the office lights dimming as the sun sets outside. He picks up his phone and hesitates. He had planned on leaving the whole situation behind, but something about Emma won't let him go. He opens his messages and looks at her name. His thumb hovers over the keyboard for a moment. Then he starts typing. Hey, it's Liam. I know last night was a bit crazy, but I'd really like to see you again. Maybe for coffee, if you're up for it. He pauses, rereads the message, then presses send. He feels a knot form in his stomach, unsure of what to expect. Emma's phone buzzes as she's cleaning up her apartment. She glances at the screen and freezes when she sees the name. Liam. Her heart skips a beat as she opens the message. I should ignore it, she tells herself. It's just a mistake. But the message lingers in her mind, and before she can stop herself, she types back. Okay, coffee sounds nice. She hits send and leans back on the couch, her mind racing. She doesn't know why she's agreeing to meet him again. Maybe it's the curiosity, or maybe it's the small spark of hope that she's trying to ignore. Either way, she's about to find out what happens next. Liam receives her reply just minutes later. A smile spreads across his face, and for the first time in days, he feels a sense of relief. He quickly types back, Great. I'll find a place and text you the details. As the day turns to evening, both Emma and Liam prepare for their next encounter. Neither of them knows exactly where this path will lead, but they both feel that something significant is about to unfold. As Emma gets ready, she stands in front of her mirror, adjusting her clothes. She wonders if she should just cancel, if it's too soon, if it was all a mistake. But she can't shake the feeling that maybe, just maybe, this could be the start of something new. Liam, on the other hand, sits at a small cafe, his phone in hand, checking the time. He's nervous in a way he hasn't been in years. He knows he wants to get to know her better, but he's unsure if he's making the right move. His phone buzzes with a message from her, and he stands up, smoothing out his jacket. He's about to find out if this is the beginning of something real or just another fleeting connection. As Emma walks into the cafe, her nerves settle a bit. She spots him sitting at a table near the window, looking just as nervous as she feels. She walks over to him, her heart pounding in her chest. He looks up and smiles. The same smile that had made her laugh the night before. "Hi," she says, her voice a little shaky. "Hi," Liam replies, standing up to greet her. "Thanks for coming." They sit down, and the conversation flows easily, just like it did last night. Neither of them mentions the awkwardness of the night before. Instead, they talk about their lives, their dreams, and their hopes for the future. And for the first time in a long time, both Emma and Liam feel a sense of connection that neither of them expected. As they talk, it becomes clear that this isn't just a blind date anymore. This is something deeper, something real. And with every word they share, the bond between them grows stronger. What started as a mistake, a mix-up of identity, has turned into something neither of them could have predicted, a beginning of a story that will change both of their lives forever. The days pass by quickly, and Emma and Liam continue to meet, each encounter filled with a mixture of excitement and hesitation. Their conversations become more personal, more honest, and the connection between them grows stronger with each passing moment. Emma finds herself thinking about him more and more, wondering if he's really as genuine as he seems, or if this is all just another story. She tries to ignore the feeling of warmth she gets when she's with him, but it's becoming harder to deny. She can't help but smile every time she hears his voice or sees his name pop up on her phone. Liam, on the other hand, can't seem to get her out of his mind. He's been through his fair share of relationships and brief encounters, but there's something different about Emma. Something real, something he hasn't felt in years. He starts to realize that this might not just be a fling for him. There's something about her laughter, her smile, the way she talks about her dreams, that makes him want to see her again and again. He can't shake the feeling that she's the one person who has seen him for who he truly is, not just for his wealth or status. One evening, Liam decides to take things to the next level. He invites Emma to a charity gala that he's been planning for months. It's an important event for his company, but he can't shake the feeling that inviting her will somehow make the night more meaningful. When Emma receives the invitation, she's taken aback. She hasn't been to an event like this before, and the thought of attending with Liam both excites and terrifies her. She wonders if it's too soon, if she's ready to be seen with someone like him, in a place so far removed from her world. But she decides to go. After all, she's been feeling something real with him, and she doesn't want to let fear hold her back. The night of the gala arrives, and Emma stands in front of her mirror, nervously adjusting the dress she's borrowed from her friend Jenny. It's the best she can do, and she hopes it's enough. She doesn't want to feel out of place, but she knows she will. As she applies her makeup and checks her hair one last time, she can't help but feel a flutter in her stomach. She's nervous, but in a good way. When she arrives at the gala, she feels all eyes on her. She's not used to being in places like this, surrounded by elegantly dressed people who seem to have it all. She feels like a fish out of water, unsure of where to stand or what to do. But then she sees Liam across the room, talking to a group of people. His eyes meet hers, and he smiles. It's a smile that makes everything feel okay. She walks over to him, trying to shake off the nerves. "Hey," she says, her voice shaky. "You look amazing," Liam says, his eyes softening as he takes in her appearance. Emma blushes, not used to compliments like this. "Thank you," she says, her heart racing. Liam takes her hand and leads her into the crowd. He introduces her to some of his colleagues, and for the first time, Emma starts to feel like she belongs. She may not be in her comfort zone, but she's here with Liam, and that makes all the difference. As the night goes on, Emma starts to relax. She laughs at the jokes Liam makes, enjoys the conversation with his friends, and even takes part in a few of the dances. She's not a dancer, but with Liam by her side, she feels like she could do anything. The night seems to pass in a blur, and before she knows it, the event is winding down. Liam takes her to the balcony to get some fresh air. They stand there, looking out over the city, the lights twinkling below them. "I'm glad you came," Liam says, his voice soft. "I'm glad I did too," Emma replies, her heart fluttering. There's a moment of silence between them, and then Liam turns to her, his expression serious. "Emma," he begins, his voice steady. "There's something I need to tell you." Emma looks at him, her heart beating faster. "What is it?" she asks, suddenly nervous. Liam takes a deep breath and looks at her, his eyes filled with sincerity. "I've been thinking about you a lot," he says. "More than I should." Emma's breath catches in her throat. She doesn't know what to say, but her heart is telling her this is a moment that could change everything. "I've been thinking about you too," she admits, her voice barely a whisper. Liam steps closer to her, his gaze never leaving hers. "I know we started this as a contract," he says, "but I don't want it to be just that anymore." Emma's heart races as she looks up at him, her mind spinning. "What do you mean?" she asks, unsure of what he's about to say. Liam reaches for her hand, holding it gently. "I mean," he says softly, "I think I'm falling for you, Emma." Emma's eyes widen, her breath catching in her throat. This is the moment she's been waiting for, the moment she's been afraid of. She doesn't know what to say, but the words feel right in her heart. "I think I'm falling for you too," she finally says, her voice trembling. Liam smiles, a slow, soft smile that makes Emma's heart skip a beat. "Then let's see where this goes," he says, his voice filled with hope. And in that moment, Emma knows that everything is about to change. She may not have expected this, but she's ready to take the next step with Liam. She's ready to let go of the past and embrace the future. One kiss, one simple kiss, could change everything. The days following the gala are filled with a mix of excitement and uncertainty for Emma and Liam. Both of them are trying to navigate the new dynamic between them, the shift from a contract to something more real, more emotional. Liam finds himself thinking about Emma more than he should, his mind drifting back to their conversation on the balcony. He's not used to feeling this way, vulnerable, uncertain, but with her, it feels different. Emma, too, is caught in a whirlwind of emotions. She's been careful not to let her guard down, but every time she sees Liam, every time they talk, her walls start to crumble. She's never felt this way before, and it both excites and scares her. One evening, Liam invites Emma to dinner at his penthouse. It's their first time alone since the gala, and Liam is nervous. He wants to make things right, to show Emma that this isn't just about business anymore, that he truly cares about her. He's been thinking about what he wants to say, how to tell her how much she means to him, but he's not sure if the words will come out right. As Emma arrives, she's greeted by the warmth of the penthouse, the soft lighting, and the smell of something delicious cooking. She can't help but feel a little out of place. The apartment is elegant, sophisticated, so different from the small apartment she's used to. But as she steps inside, Liam's smile reassures her, and she starts to feel a little more at ease. "You look beautiful," Liam says, his voice sincere as he greets her with a kiss on the cheek. Emma blushes, surprised by the compliment. "Thank you," she replies, her voice soft. Liam takes her hand and leads her to the dining table, where a candlelit dinner is waiting. The evening unfolds with easy conversation, laughter, and shared stories. Emma feels like she's stepping into a world she's never known, and yet with Liam, she feels at home. As they finish dinner, Liam stands up and walks over to the balcony, motioning for Emma to join him. The city lights twinkle below, casting a soft glow on their faces. Liam turns to her, his expression serious, his heart pounding in his chest. "Emma," he begins, his voice soft but steady. "There's something I need to tell you." Emma looks at him, her curiosity piqued. She knows what he's about to say, but hearing it from him, hearing the words in his voice, makes her heart race. "What is it?" she asks, her voice barely a whisper. Liam takes a deep breath, gathering his thoughts before speaking. "I don't want this to be just a contract anymore," he says, his eyes locked onto hers. "I don't want you to feel like this is just business between us. I've been thinking about you, and I can't deny that what we have is real. Emma's heart skips a beat. She's been afraid of this moment, afraid of letting herself believe that this could be something more, something lasting. But as Liam speaks, as he looks at her with such sincerity, she feels something deep inside her stir. "I've been thinking about you too," she admits, her voice trembling. "I don't know what this is, but I feel like we have something real." Liam smiles, a slow, genuine smile that reaches his eyes. "I feel the same way," he says, his voice filled with hope. "I want to see where this goes, Emma. I want to take this seriously." Emma takes a deep breath, her emotions swirling. She's never been one to rush into things, but something about Liam, something about the way he looks at her, makes her want to take that leap. "I want that too," she says softly, her heart finally opening up to the possibility of something more. Liam steps closer to her, his hand gently brushing against hers. He leans in, his lips just inches from hers. For a moment, the world seems to disappear. There's no business, no contracts, just the two of them, standing in the soft glow of the city lights. "Can I kiss you?" Liam asks, his voice low and filled with desire. Emma's breath catches in her throat, her heart racing. She's never felt this nervous, this vulnerable, but it feels right. "Yes," she whispers, her voice barely audible. And as their lips meet, the world around them fades away. The kiss is soft, tentative at first, but as their feelings for each other come to the surface, it deepens, becoming more passionate, more real. In that moment, Emma knows that everything has changed. She's no longer afraid of what the future holds, because with Liam, she feels like she's found something worth fighting for. The kiss marks the beginning of a new chapter for them, one that's filled with love, hope, and the promise of a future together. They pull away slowly, their foreheads resting against each other as they both catch their breath. "This is just the beginning," Liam says, his voice full of certainty. Emma smiles, her heart full. "I know," she replies, knowing that whatever happens next, they'll face it together. In the weeks that follow, Emma and Liam's relationship begins to blossom in ways neither of them expected. After that first kiss, the walls between them slowly fade, and they begin to open up in ways they never thought possible. Emma starts spending more time at Liam's penthouse, and the line between business and pleasure blurs. They take walks through the city, visit art galleries, and share their dreams and fears. For the first time in a long time, Emma feels like she belongs somewhere, like she's not just a waitress in a small restaurant scraping by to make ends meet. Liam, too, begins to see her in a new light. He's used to the glamorous women who frequent his world, the ones who only care about his wealth and status. But with Emma, he finds someone who doesn't care about any of that. She's genuine, kind, and her laugh has become something he cherishes. They have real conversations, not the surface-level exchanges he's used to with others in his circle. One afternoon, as they walk through Central Park, Liam takes Emma's hand in his. The crisp autumn air blows through the trees, and the golden leaves swirl around them. Emma feels the warmth of his hand against hers, and for the first time, she allows herself to fully relax, to let go of her doubts. "Liam," she says, her voice soft. "I don't know what this is, but it feels real. I've never felt this way before." Liam stops walking and turns to face her, his expression serious but filled with affection. "It feels real to me too, Emma," he says, his voice steady. "I know we started off in a unusual way, but I'm not pretending anymore. I want this. I want us." Emma looks up at him, her heart pounding in her chest. "I want us too," she replies, her voice barely above a whisper. Liam smiles, his eyes lighting up with warmth. "Then let's make it real," he says. "Let's see where this goes. Together." Emma nods, feeling a rush of emotion. She doesn't know where this relationship will take them, but she knows she's ready to take the journey with him. She has never been so sure of anything in her life. As the weeks turn into months, Liam and Emma continue to grow closer. Liam introduces her to his world, but he does it on his terms, showing her the parts of his life that matter most to him. He takes her to the charity events he's passionate about, and Emma becomes involved in the causes he cares about. She sees a different side of Liam, one that isn't about his wealth or status, but about his desire to make a difference in the world. Meanwhile, Emma introduces Liam to the world she's always known, the small coffee shops, the art studios, and the quiet parks where she used to go to sketch. She shows him what makes her happy, and in turn, Liam begins to understand her in ways he never did before. They both start to realize that their differences aren't obstacles, but opportunities to learn from each other. But not everything is smooth sailing. As their relationship deepens, old insecurities start to resurface. Emma can't help but wonder if Liam is truly in this for the right reasons. She still struggles with the idea that he might be with her because of some unspoken obligation, or because he's trying to prove something to himself. Liam, on the other hand, begins to feel the pressure of balancing his personal life with his responsibilities as a CEO. He worries that he might lose himself in the relationship, or worse, that Emma might not feel the same way about him once she sees the full picture of his life. One night, as they sit in his penthouse, Liam turns to Emma, his eyes filled with concern. "Emma, I know this isn't easy. I know I've asked a lot from you, but I need you to know that I'm in this. I'm here, with you, for real." Emma looks at him, her heart aching with the uncertainty she's been carrying. "I'm in this too," she says, her voice firm. "But I need to know that this is what you really want. I need to know that you're not doing this because you feel sorry for me or because of some deal we made." Liam takes her hand, his thumb brushing against her skin. "I'm not doing this because I feel sorry for you," he says, his voice low and sincere. "I'm doing this because I want to be with you. I want to make this work, no matter what." Emma looks at him, searching his eyes for any sign of doubt, but she finds none. She feels the weight of his words settle in her chest, and for the first time, she feels the tension ease. "Then let's make it work," she says softly, her heart finally at peace. As the night continues, they talk about their fears, their hopes, and their future. They both know that the road ahead won't be easy, but for the first time, they're both ready to face it together. The next morning, Liam takes Emma out for a quiet breakfast at a small cafe. As they sit across from each other, sipping their coffee and talking about their plans for the day, Emma can't help but smile. For the first time in a long time, she feels like everything is falling into place. The kiss that started it all was just the beginning, and now, they're both ready to take the next step. The journey ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: no matter what comes their way, they'll face it together. As the months pass, Emma and Liam's relationship continues to evolve in ways neither of them expected. They spend more time together, slowly learning about each other's worlds and adjusting to the complexities of being with someone so different from themselves. Emma, once unsure of her place in Liam's world, begins to find comfort in the little moments they share. Whether it's sitting together on the balcony, sharing a quiet dinner at home, or taking long walks in the park, she starts to feel at ease in his presence. With each passing day, she grows more confident in her feelings for him, realizing that this isn't just some fleeting romance, it's something real. Liam, on the other hand, finds himself more and more captivated by Emma. He's never been one to open up easily, but with her, he finds himself sharing parts of his life he's never told anyone. He tells her about his childhood, his struggles with his family, and the pressure of living up to the expectations that come with being a CEO. Emma listens intently, her warmth and understanding making it easier for him to be vulnerable. As they continue to grow closer, they start to talk more seriously about the future. Emma, always the dreamer, talks about her hopes of opening her own art studio, a place where she can create and share her work with others. Liam listens to her with rapt attention, offering his support and encouragement, even though he knows it might take time to make her dream a reality. "You can do it, Emma," he says one evening as they sit together on the couch, her sketchbook open on her lap. "I believe in you." His words mean more to her than she can express. For so long, she's been doing everything on her own, struggling to make ends meet. To hear Liam say that he believes in her is a feeling she's never experienced before. It gives her the confidence to keep pushing forward, to chase after her dreams without fear of failure. But as their relationship deepens, new challenges arise. Liam's business demands more of his time, and the pressure to maintain his position as a successful CEO weighs heavily on him. Emma, too, is struggling to find balance. While she feels secure in her love for Liam, she starts to question whether their different worlds will ever truly align. One afternoon, as they sit in Liam's office discussing their plans for the future, the tension between them becomes palpable. Liam is talking about an upcoming business deal, his voice low and serious, but Emma can't help but feel a sense of unease. "Liam," she says softly, interrupting him. I need to know something. He looks at her, his brow furrowed. What is it? He asks, his voice filled with concern. Emma hesitates for a moment, unsure of how to express her feelings. Do you ever worry that we're too different? That maybe this life I'm building for myself doesn't fit into the world you live in. Liam's face softens, and he reaches for her hand across the table, holding it gently in his own. I don't think we're too different, he says, his voice steady. I think we're learning from each other. I know our lives are different, but I don't want that to stop us. I want to make this work, Emma. I want you in my life, and I want to be in yours. Emma feels a wave of relief wash over her as she listens to his words. She knows that their relationship won't always be easy, but she's starting to believe that their love can overcome the challenges they face. Still, a small part of her remains uncertain, unsure of what the future holds. I want to make this work too, she admits, squeezing his hand. But I'm scared. I'm scared that I'll lose myself in this, in us. Liam smiles, his eyes full of understanding. You won't lose yourself, Emma, he says softly. I'll make sure of it. The reassurance in his voice brings her comfort, and for the first time in weeks, she feels a sense of peace. They may have their doubts, but they both know that their connection is something worth fighting for. In the days that follow, Emma and Liam continue to work through their challenges, each of them learning to adapt and grow in the relationship. They have their share of disagreements, but they always find their way back to each other, their love growing stronger with each passing day. One evening, as they sit on the balcony of Liam's penthouse, watching the sun set over the city, Emma turns to him with a thoughtful expression. Liam, she begins, I've been thinking. Maybe it's time I take the next step with my art. I want to open that studio, and I think it's time I stop waiting for the perfect moment. Liam smiles at her, his eyes filled with pride. I think that's a great idea, he says, his voice full of encouragement. You've got this, Emma. I'll support you every step of the way. Emma feels a sense of warmth spread through her as she looks at Liam. She's not sure where the road ahead will take them, but for the first time in her life, she feels like she's exactly where she's supposed to be, by his side. And as they sit together, watching the stars begin to appear in the night sky, Emma knows that whatever comes next, they'll face it together. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Their love is real, and it's only just beginning. As the weeks pass, Emma and Liam's relationship continues to grow, but not without its share of challenges. Emma has started to take the next steps in her art career, securing a small space to start her art studio. It's a dream come true for her, but it's also a huge leap. She feels nervous about the future, unsure of whether she'll succeed, but Liam's support has been unwavering. He's there, every step of the way, helping her with the logistics, encouraging her when she feels uncertain, and always reminding her that she's capable of achieving everything she sets her mind to. However, as Emma's studio begins to take shape, the pressure on Liam starts to mount. As a CEO, his responsibilities have been growing, and he finds himself constantly pulled between his business and his personal life. The time he used to spend with Emma seems to be slipping away, and the distance between them begins to create small cracks in their relationship. Emma notices the change, the way Liam is distracted during their dinners together, the way he checks his phone every few minutes, always rushing off to a meeting or a call. She tries not to let it bother her, but it does. She can feel the tension building, and it makes her wonder if this is the moment where their love will start to fade. One evening, after a long day of work at her new studio, Emma decides to confront Liam. She knows they've both been busy, but she also knows that she can't let their relationship slip through the cracks. She invites him over to her apartment, asking him to meet her for a quiet dinner. When Liam arrives, Emma can tell he's exhausted. He's been working late, and his usual spark seems dimmer tonight. She doesn't want to add to his stress, but she can't hold back her feelings anymore. Liam, she starts, her voice soft but firm. We need to talk. Liam looks up from his phone, his eyes weary. What's wrong? He asks, his tone tinged with concern. Emma takes a deep breath, trying to find the right words. I know we've both been busy, she says, but I can't help feeling like we're drifting apart. You've been so focused on work lately, and I get it, but I miss you. I miss the way things used to be between us. Liam looks at her, his face softening. Emma, I'm sorry, he says, his voice apologetic. I've been so caught up with work, and I know I haven't been the best at balancing everything. It's just, There's a lot going on, and I don't want to disappoint you. Emma shakes her head, her heart aching. You're not disappointing me, Liam. But I need you to be present. I need us to be present together. I can't keep doing this, where we're just two people passing by each other every day. The silence between them stretches for a moment, and then Liam stands up and walks over to her. He reaches for her hand, holding it gently in his own. I don't want to lose you, Emma, he says, his voice full of sincerity. I'm sorry for making you feel neglected. I promise I'll do better. We'll figure this out, together. Emma looks up at him, her eyes filled with emotion. I want to believe that, she says, her voice quiet. But I need you to show me, Liam. I need to know that you're as committed to this as I am. Liam nods, his gaze never leaving hers. I am, Emma. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to us. I'll do whatever it takes to make this work. Emma feels a wave of relief wash over her as she hears his words. She knows it won't be easy, but for the first time in a long time, she feels like they're on the same page again. They sit down to dinner, and for the first time in weeks, the conversation flows easily between them. They talk about everything, their hopes for the future, their dreams, and what they want from their relationship. There's no more tension, no more uncertainty. Just the two of them, reconnecting in the way they always should have. The night ends with Liam holding Emma close, both of them wrapped in each other's arms. It's a simple moment, but it's everything. For the first time in a long time, Emma feels at peace. She knows they still have a long way to go, but they're in this together, and that's all that matters. As the days pass, Liam and Emma continue to work through their challenges. Liam starts making more time for her, carving out moments to be with her, even in the midst of his busy schedule. Emma, too, finds balance between her art and her relationship, learning to lean on Liam for support without losing herself in the process. They start to build a life together, one that's not perfect, but one that's real and full of love. They have their ups and downs, but through it all, they know they have each other. Emma begins to see that love isn't just about grand gestures or perfect moments. It's about the small, everyday things, the way Liam takes her hand in public, the way he listens to her without judgment, the way they laugh together after a long day. It's in the quiet moments, the unspoken gestures, and the way they show up for each other, no matter what. As they continue to grow together, they realize that they're building something beautiful, a partnership, a love, a life that's worth fighting for. As the months continue to pass, Emma and Liam find themselves growing stronger in their relationship. They've weathered the ups and downs, and although there are still challenges ahead, they both feel more confident than ever that they can face whatever comes their way. Emma's art studio is flourishing. What started as a small dream now feels like a reality, and she's finding joy in creating and sharing her work. Liam, who has been supporting her every step of the way, couldn't be prouder. He's been showing up to her gallery openings, giving her the space she needs to grow, but always offering his encouragement and love when she feels uncertain. For the first time in her life, Emma feels like she's truly living out her passion, with Liam by her side. But as their relationship deepens, so does the pressure on Liam. His work continues to demand more and more of his time, and though he's doing his best to balance his career and personal life, there are moments when he feels the weight of his responsibilities pulling him in different directions. He's no longer just the CEO of a successful company. He's Emma's partner, and he wants to be present for her, especially as she's taking big steps forward in her art career. One evening, after a particularly long and exhausting day, Liam arrives at Emma's studio. He's been trying to get there for weeks, but work has kept him tied up. Emma notices the exhaustion on his face as he walks in, and immediately, she can tell something is off. Hey, she says softly, walking over to him. Are you okay? Liam smiles, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes. Yeah, he says, his voice tired. Just a lot on my plate lately. Emma nods, sensing the strain in his words. I get it, she replies. But I'm here if you need to talk. Liam hesitates for a moment, then takes a deep breath. I just feel like I'm letting you down, he admits, his voice quiet. I know I promised I'd be more present, but with everything going on at work, I'm struggling to keep up. Emma walks over to him, placing a hand on his arm. Liam, you don't have to be perfect, she says softly. I don't expect you to drop everything for me, but I just want you to know that we're in this together. Liam looks down at her hand on his arm, his heart swelling with emotion. I know, he says, his voice full of gratitude. And I'm trying. I really am. Emma smiles at him, her heart full of love. I know you are, she says, squeezing his arm gently. And we'll figure it out. We've been through so much already, and we'll get through whatever comes next. Together. Liam nods, feeling a wave of relief wash over him. He knows that their journey won't always be easy, but in this moment, he's reminded that with Emma by his side, they can handle anything. As the evening continues, they talk about everything: work, art, the future, and their hopes for their relationship. There are no more doubts, no more insecurities. Just two people who love each other, ready to face whatever comes next. A few days later, Liam surprises Emma with a special dinner. He's planned everything down to the smallest detail, making sure that this evening will be one that Emma will never forget. As they sit down to dinner, Liam takes her hand in his, looking at her with love and admiration. Emma, he begins, his voice soft. I know we've come a long way, and I know there will be challenges ahead, but I want you to know that I'm all in. No matter what happens, I'm here. You're my priority, and I'll always make time for you. Emma feels her heart swell at his words. She's never had someone who was so committed to her, someone who truly wanted to build a life together. I'm all in too, she says, her voice full of emotion. I know we're both busy, and life isn't always going to be perfect. But I believe in us, Liam. I believe in what we're building together. Liam smiles, his heart overflowing with love. Me too, he says, his voice filled with certainty. And I'm excited for what's ahead. As they finish their dinner, they talk about the future, about where they see themselves in a year, 5 years, even 10 years. They talk about traveling the world together, opening a gallery, and continuing to grow both as individuals and as a couple. And in that moment, Emma realizes that everything she's ever wanted is within reach. She has the love and support of the most incredible man she's ever met, and she knows that with him, she can accomplish anything. They may have started out on different paths, but now they're walking the same road, hand in hand, ready for whatever the future holds. As the night comes to an end, they walk hand in hand along the quiet streets, the city lights twinkling around them. Emma leans her head on Liam's shoulder, feeling the warmth of his love. She knows that their journey together is only just beginning, and she's excited to see where it will take them. The future is full of possibilities, and with Liam by her side, she's ready to face it all. As the months go by, Emma and Liam find themselves more intertwined in each other's lives. Their relationship has weathered the storm, and although they've faced obstacles, they've also grown stronger together. Emma's art studio continues to thrive, and she feels more confident than ever, knowing that she has Liam's support every step of the way. She's not just creating art, she's building a future, and Liam is right there by her side, cheering her on. Their love, which began under the most unexpected circumstances, has blossomed into something neither of them could have imagined. Liam, too, feels like he's found something real. As a successful CEO, he's always been surrounded by people who wanted something from him. But with Emma, it's different. She doesn't care about his wealth or status. She cares about him. She's been there for him when the pressure of his job feels too overwhelming. And in her, he's found someone who sees him for who he really is. A few months after their heartfelt conversation, Liam surprises Emma with a weekend getaway to a quiet beach town. It's been a hectic few weeks for both of them, and he knows that they need a break. Emma is hesitant at first. She's used to taking care of everything herself, and the idea of stepping away from her art studio makes her anxious. But Liam assures her that everything will be fine, that they both deserve some time to relax and reconnect. As they drive to the beach, Emma feels a sense of calm wash over her. The sound of the waves crashing against the shore, the salty air, and the warmth of Liam's hand in hers all remind her that, no matter what happens, she's not alone. They spend the weekend exploring the town, enjoying the simplicity of each other's company. They walk along the beach at sunset, hand in hand, talking about everything and nothing. Emma realizes that, for the first time in a long time, she's not worried about the future. She's not focused on whether or not her dreams will come true. She's just enjoying the moment with Liam. The weekend is a reminder of what they've built together, a love that is real, steady, and full of promise. As they return to the city, Liam's work continues to demand his attention, but he's made a promise to himself and to Emma that he won't let it get in the way of their relationship. They make time for each other, whether it's a quiet dinner at home, a weekend away, or simply taking a walk together in the park. Emma, too, finds herself balancing her dreams with the love she shares with Liam. She knows that she's capable of building her art career while still nurturing her relationship. They're both learning to prioritize each other, to make space for love even when life gets busy. One evening, as they sit on the couch together, Liam looks at Emma with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking," he says, his voice steady, "about the future, about us. I want to keep building this life with you. I don't want to take it for granted." Emma smiles, her heart swelling with love. "I want that too," she says softly. "We've come so far, and I know there will be challenges ahead, but I believe in us. I believe in what we're building together." Liam reaches for her hand, his thumb gently brushing over her skin. "We're building something real, Emma. Something worth fighting for." Emma nods, feeling a wave of emotion wash over her. She knows that no matter what happens, they'll face it together. The next chapter in their lives won't be easy, but they've already proven that they can handle whatever comes their way. They've already built a foundation of love, trust, and commitment, and that's all they need. As the evening comes to a close, they stand together, looking out at the city skyline. The lights twinkle in the distance, and Emma leans her head on Liam's shoulder, feeling the warmth of his love. She knows that, no matter what, they'll face the future hand in hand, ready to take on whatever life throws at them. The road ahead may not always be smooth, but with Liam by her side, Emma knows that she's ready for anything. Their love is real, and it's only just beginning.